students. In this session, let us discuss about ray optics topic. So in this ray optics, especially today we are going to discuss about the curvature formula. So this is related to refraction through curved surface. So to discuss that one, so the question asked in the examination are, they are going to ask like this: derive the relation between U, V, R and N. U is called object distance, V is called image distance, R is called radius of curvature, and N is called refractive index of the medium used for refraction of light. So this is also called as curvature formula. Curvature formula. To derive this curvature formula, let us consider a curved surface. Say this is what the curved surface. This is the curved surface. In this curved surface, one side is considered as a denser media. Say this is denser media and this one is rarer media. Now let us draw a straight line passing through the center. Here the center of this curved surface, let us consider that as a pole. This is the straight line passing through this pole. Now this line is treated as a principal axis. Now say this point as M. Now on the principal axis, let us consider a point object O. Say this is the point object. Name this point object as O. Why it is called point object? Now the size is just like a point here. That's why it is called point object. We can also consider the linear object. If I consider a candle here like this, it is considered as a linear object. Now for this derivation, we used to consider a point object O. Here, now from this point object, the light is traveling from this object media to wherever the image is found here in the denser media. Now let us consider N1 is a rarer media and N2 is a denser media. Now say this is a straight line, represents an incident light. So this point, let us treat it as an N. Now ON is considered as an incident ray. Now after refraction by this curved surface, now the light travels towards the principal axis. It meets at certain point where the image is found. Let us consider that image is as I. Since it is a ray, compulsory one should write the arrow here. Right. Now from this point one should represent a normal. To represent a normal, we have to consider the center of curvature. This is the point where we will consider center of curvature. So why the center of curvature comes here only? Because center of curvature is a point here. It will a part of this sphere, right? It is a part of this sphere. That's why center of curvature is a curvature point. It is a part of this sphere, and this curvature is a part of this sphere. That's why it comes here. Center of curvature C. C is the center of curvature, and the normal is drawn from center of curvature to the point C. Now this is considered as a normal. This is a normal drawn to the point of incident. Now we are observing right angle triangles here. Now this is assumed to be a straight line. You assume this as a straight line here. I want to consider a normal to this point, right? Both the points are considered as the same points, M, because the curvature is small. Since the curvature is small, now this is considered as a plane surface. Now what happens? NOM is one right angle triangle. In this right angle triangle, apply the tangent function for this angle, right? So now you apply the tangent function for this angle. Tan of angle N OM. So if you are applying tangent to this, so you know the definition of tangent: opposite side divided by adjacent side. Which is opposite side for this angle? This is the opposite side. So opposite side is named as NM, divided by adjacent side is MO. Similarly, we have to consider one more right angle triangle here. So NIM. In this right angle triangle, tan of, I want to consider this angle. So NIM. Now you can apply the same condition here according to the definition of tangent. Opposite side is NM, adjacent side is MI. Similarly, there is one more right angle triangle, NCM. In this right angle triangle, I will consider this is the angle I used to apply for the tangent. So now for that right angle triangle, apply a tan function. It will become tan of NCM. Again, opposite side is same, NM only, but the adjacent side is MC. Now in this tangent, since the angle is small, if the angle is small, in the trigonometric condition, one can consider that since the angle is small, the trigonometric functions can be eliminated. Since the trigonometric function can be eliminated, in the next step, these three equations can be represented like this. So it can be represented NOM only. Now NOM, it is NOM is an angle. NOM is an angle. This angle, representation of this angle. It will become, since we are eliminating this one, it is represented as NM divided by MO only. So this is first equation. Similarly, you will get one more, NIM. Angle NIM can be written as NM divided by MI. Right? And you write one more equation here, last one. So it is considered as NCM. Angle NCM can be represented as NM divided by MC. Right? So collectively, all these three equations we considered as equation number 1 here. So while continuing the derivation, we have to consider one more triangle here, ONC here. So from the triangle ONC, here we are applying some trigonometric function here. So what trigonometric function we are choosing here? Since it is an incident ray, this is the normal, this is considered as an angle of incident, I. Similarly, you know the definition of angle of refraction. Angle between normal and the refracted ray is angle of refraction, it is R. Okay. Now, let us choose a triangle ONC. You can choose this triangle ONC. This is the exterior angle, I is the exterior angle. For this exterior angle, opposite interior angle in this triangle is, one is NOM, another one is NCM. So I use this condition. So therefore what happens? Angle of incident I, this is equal to sum of these two angles. So to represent an angle, NOM angle plus angle NCM. Just it is a rule what we are using in the geometry. So I will repeat that once again. So what condition we are used in this triangle is, since in this triangle I is the exterior angle, for this exterior angle, angle O and angle C represents the opposite interior angle. According to the rule, exterior angle is equal to sum of two interior opposite angles. So I will consider this condition here, right? So come to the next point. So similarly, let us consider one more triangle. So to continue this one, I used to replace angle NOM from equation 1. I will consider this is equation number 2. Now I want to replace equation 2 by equation 1. Right? NOM. I is equal to NOM. Where is NOM? Here. So it will become angle NOM can be written as NM divided by MO. Plus C is here. Angle NCM. Angle NCM can be written as NM divided by NC. You treat this as equation number 3. Right? Similarly, from the triangle, so initially we have considered ONC as a triangle to apply this rule. Now I am considering NIC as a triangle here. NIC. In this triangle, see here, NIC, in this triangle, right, I want to consider this is exterior angle. Which one is exterior angle? NCM is an exterior angle. This is exterior angle. For this exterior angle, the opposite to interior angle should be, one is R, angle of refraction, another one is NIC. I will repeat the same condition here also. So therefore it will become R, or I will consider initially this one, angle is represented like this also, NCM, angle NCM is equal to, opposite interior angle, one is R, another one is angle NIC, or else you can also write NIM also. NIM I will consider angle here. Now call this is equation number 4, continuation. Replace, substitute the value of equation 1 in equation number 4. If you substitute equation 1 in 4, NCM is replaced by what? NM divided by MC is equal to R plus NIM. Where is NIM here? NM divided by MI. Now you simplify this equation for R. So if I simplify this equation for an R, that will become R is equal to what? R is equal to, this will comes to here. I will keep R is in the same position. First we have to write NM by MC and replace here. By transferring from left hand side to right hand side, it will take negative sign here. Then it will become NM divided by MI. Call this is equation number 5. So now we got the value of angle of incident and angle of refraction for this refraction through curved surface. So while continuing the derivation, so we have to consider here. So since there is a refraction of light, for every refraction one can apply Snell's law. Since we are considering refraction from Snell's law, I will consider from Snell's law. So what is Snell's law? You know that Snell's law represents the ratio of sine of angle of incident, to the sine of angle of refraction is always constant. That constant is represented as the refractive index of second media with respect to first media. It means light is traveling from medium 1 to medium 2, medium 1 to medium 2. So the object is on medium 1, the image is on medium 2. This image is due to the refraction of light, especially for curved surface, right here. Now, condition for the Snell's law states that refractive index of second media with respect to first media. That's why it can N12 can be represented as N2 divided by N1, which is equal to, since the angle is small, see I and R is small. Why I and R is small? Initially I told, since the curvature is small. What is curvature? Here this is a curvature. Surface area available for refraction is called aperture. Aperture is small here. Since aperture is small, whatever the angle we are choosing is also small. Since the angle is small, right, one can eliminate the trigonometric function. Now it will become I only and it will become R only. Same thing you are done here also. Since angle is small, we are ignoring the trigonometric function tan. Here we are ignoring the trigonometric function sine. Now you take the cross multiplication, I into N1 into I, which is equal to N2 into R, right? We call this is equation number continuation 6. Now we got an equation N1I can be written as is equal to N2 into R. Now replace I and R from equation 3 and 5. Equation 3 gives the value of I and equation 5 gives the value of R. You can replace these equations 3 and 5 in equation number 6. Now in the next step you can write substitute the values of equation 3 and 5 in equation number 6. Then it will become N1I. N1 you write as it is N1. I value, here it is I value. Nm divided by Mo, right, plus Nm divided by Nc. Nm divided by Nc, which is equal to N2 into R value. R value is replaced by equation number 5. Nm divided by Nc minus here Nm divided by Mi. Nm divided by Mi. You put a bracket, don't forget to put the bracket here because N2 is common for both the terms. Here N1 is common for both the terms, these two terms. Now see, since in the denominator Nm is common, now you take the common factor Nm here and here also, it will get cancelled with LHS and RHS. Now the remaining equation is N1 divided by Mo plus N1 divided by Mc, which is equal to N2 divided by Mi. Just I am replacing these values. After cancelling Nm in the numerator on both sides LHS and RHS, the remaining equation is N1 by Mo plus N2 divided by Mc, which is equal to N2 divided by Mc minus N2 divided by Mi. So in this equation, from the diagram, you will get all the values, Mo value, Mc value and Mi value. So I want to write that value also in the diagram. So what is Mo? The distance from pole to the object is considered as object distance. So object distance is represented by U. Here, from here to here it is U. But while writing the U value from sign convention, here Mo is considered as minus U. Why it is minus U? You already know that. According to sign convention, if you are measuring the distance against the direction of incident ray, we are measuring from here to here against the direction of incident ray. We are measuring the distance from here to here against the direction of incident ray. That's why it is Mo is considered as minus. This is very important here. If you are not taking minus here, the whole final equation will get wrong. Next one. The value of, you got the value of Mo, the value of Mc we want. See from the diagram, M to C. C is considered as center of curvature. You know what is center of curvature? It is the point here, center of curvature. So center of curvature should be in denser media because light is traveling from rarer media to denser media, since the curvature is convex towards rarer. That's why it is in denser media, right? From here to here, it is the radius of curvature R. Right? R is the radius of curvature. R is radius of curvature. So R is positive only. Why it is positive? Because we are measuring along the direction of incident ray. So the direction of incident ray is towards right. The direction of measurement of R is also towards right. That's why it is positive R value. And one more value we want, Mi. So what is Mi here? M to I. So M to I distance is considered as, see I is the image point. That's why it is image distance. Image distance is represented by V only. That's why, so while starting the derivation, initially I told that we are going to derive the relation between U, V, R and N. N is refractive index, U is object distance, V is image distance, R is radius of curvature. So here V is also positive according to sign convention. Now replace all these values in this equation. It will become N1 divided by MO. MO is minus U plus N1 divided by MC. MC is radius of curvature R, which is equal to N2 divided by MC. MC is again radius of curvature R minus here N2 divided by, what is Mi? Mi is image distance V. V is also positive. Now just interchange the position of N2 by V you take from right hand side to left hand side, and N1 by R from left hand side to right hand side by changing their sign value. Here plus will become minus, here it will become minus to plus by transferring from left to right and right to left. Now first I want to take here this one N2 first, N2 by V. Why I am writing positive? I am transferring from here to here, it will become positive. And I will the second term. Second term is minus here. N1 divided by U, which is equal to. If I transfer to the right hand side, so before that N2 by R first minus N1 by R. Since we are transferring from LHS to RHS, positive sign will become negative sign. Now R is common factor, we take the LCM here. Now the final equation becomes N2 divided by V minus N1 divided by U is equal to N2 minus N1 divided by R. This is what the final equation of this derivation, right? So final equation. So this equation clearly says that. So how to read this equation? N2, refractive index of image space. N2 is the refractive index of image space. What is V? Image distance. Again, N2 by V means ratio of refractive index of image space to the image distance minus ratio of refractive index of object space. N1 is the refractive index of object space. That's why it is called. N2 is the refractive index of object space to the object distance ratio. Minus here between these two, which is equal to N2 minus N1. So N2 minus N1 means difference between refractive indices. N2 is a greater value than N1, that's why it is N2 minus N1 divided by radius of curvature. So this formula is called curvature formula, right? So this is how curvature formula can be derived, or it is also called as relation between object distance, image distance, radius of curvature and refractive indices, right? So thank you.